Do you think Diddy will get extorted in the feds?
No, because of this. When I first went to the feds, yes. Now, no, because you got, I'm gonna say Butler 1, Butler 2. One of them is a dropout yard where they got a sex, where they had Bernie Madoff.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sex offender yard, dropout gang members. Mariana, Florida, Tucson, that's the penitentiary. Terre Haute, that's the penitentiary. These are dropout yards. Whereas everybody who have sex cases, who snitched, who dropped out the gang, they walk those yards. So they're gonna put Diddy on a yard, a soft yard where people of his caliber, people who have crimes just like him, gonna be, so he's not gonna be extorted.
But even in those areas, you still got people they're gonna try to test you potentially.
Of course, but the thing about it is it's different. Like if you was on one of them yards where them hitters coming with them knife and they're kissing and selling and butcher him, or they're giving themselves, or call you people right now, send that money now. There is so soft where you might have somebody who's a little tough, you know, they just got a sex case, but they still tough, and they're trying to put the salt press on him. But they hoping that he don't go drop it down to the staff and get them shipped out of there.
Mm.
But he not gonna have a bad bid. If he get a time, we ain't hear nothing about R. Kelly yet.
This is true?
Because they got these new yards designed for sex offenders now. So yeah, so they gonna be all right. The low, the mediums. Like I said, they even got penitentiaries now for sex offenders.
I remember I interviewed 1090 Jake. He said something interesting. He said, if Diddy doesn't grab a knife, he could get stabbed as a sex offender in prison. But you're saying that if he's in a yard with all the other sex offenders, no one's really tripping off him being a sex offender.
No. Like if you look on the BOP web, you're gonna see, it's gonna tell you it's a sex. It's gonna say sump yard. That's what it's gonna say, sump yard. Like I say, they got Terry Hutt Penitentiary. My co-defendant was there, and they told me, they said, hey, we about to flip this yard over. Who all don't want to be here, y'all sign on here. We're gonna ship y'all out of here. Everybody's gonna be here. Everybody be ex-gang member. This is about to walk this yard. That's the penitentiary, Terry Hutt, and that's been flipped. Tucson Penitentiary was flipped over. Coleman 2 used to house a lot of dropout game, but it fluctuate. Coleman 2 still a little dangerous. But in the medium, like I said, Mariana, Florida is a soft dropout medium. Coleman, Coleman medium got some little, it's kind of little all right, but definitely Butler. When you look up Sump Yard, that's the sex offender project yard, so he gonna be all right.
Well, I interviewed Hector Bravo. He was a CO for like 25 years in the California penal system. I don't know if you watched the interview or not. But he talked about some of the really crazy shit that he's seen as a correctional officer. And he said that sometimes they would purposely mix PC inmates with Gen Pop. And he would call it gladiator wars, where they would purposely put people that shouldn't be with each other because they would just kind of thin out, the population that way.
Was he in the state of the Fed?
I believe it was state.
There you have it, because you got to keep in mind, the Feds, it's so many lawsuits, so much stuff, they so strict. And you got guys with forever and a day will body you on that yard. You got guys that be looking for murders, looking for bodies under their belt to say they murdered somebody. So the Feds not gonna do that. That's why they ban us having PSIs in the Fed.
What does PSI stand for?
Pre-sentence investigation report, where the PSI, like a probation officer, go do your whole background, who your family is, or from your juvenile to your state records, or your arrests, if you cooperated with the gun, everything about your case is in the PSI. And I think, was it Eric Holder? I think
who killed Nipsey?
Huh?
Eric Holder who killed Nipsey?
No. He was the one who was Attorney General.
Oh yeah. His name was Eric Holder too. Also.
Right. Yeah. He. I think he the one that banned us from having our PSI, because we used to have our PSIs with us, and that's what guys want to see when you come in the federal system. But I can guarantee you, when Puff Daddy gets sentenced, if he gets sentenced, when the yard he gonna go to, and there's another yard up there in New York, Otisville. Dropout, sex offender, dropout ex-gang member, who cooperated. They got yards for people like Puffy. Puffy, trust me, Puffy gonna have him. He gonna have a record label on that yard.
Well, an ex-gang member is still a gang member in terms of their mentality.
No, because they be having hits out on them already, and they what you call a plate or the green light on them. So what happens is, whenever you walk on a yard that have other ex-gang members, sex offender and all that, you're already in violation. So once you accept that yard, you're in violation. So a lot of them be like, man, I'm trying to go home. I ain't mess with them. Because you got to keep in mind, like, you got people that go to jail, be having 90 days left, catch a stabbing, and they got a life sentence, 20, 30 years. So you got some guys be like, man, I ain't trying to live like this no more. I'm about to go to this yard.
Got it.
And they know they got to be on their best behavior.